Hello and welcome to the What About Podcast, show where two friends get together to talk about a different topic each week. This week, we go into the third movie in the Predator franchise with interesting results. This is the one about Predators. I'm your host, Dean. I also go by on this cool places around the internet, and I'm joined this week, as always, by my man, John. John, what has been going on with you this week? It has been a minute. I haven't really talked to you this week. Curious what's going on in John land. It's sunny out. That's a change of pace for when we record.
Yeah, it's definitely sunny out. I had to start playing my Switch, so I'm playing Legend of Zelda.
Did you get the box for your PS5? I totally cut you off.
Yes,
I'm so curious about the PS5.
I did. So I did get the box from PS5. I got it on Sunday.
When was it supposed to come?
It's at 3 to 5 business days, so that tracks, I guess. Okay. But Sunday's not a business day. But whatever. Fuck me.
3 to 5 days.
Yeah. And then I got it at a time where all the FedExes were closed, so I had to wait till Monday, which made me cry a little bit inside. But 9 o'clock on the dot, I was in that FedEx with my box. But I was making sure I had everything. They were like, "Is this a warranty repair or like you have to pay for it or some shit?" And first of all, I didn't know that they offered that kind of service. Like, you'd have to shell out whatever money that they deem is acceptable for the repairs that they did. Yep. Which, for a PS5, I totally understand why someone would do that, especially at this point in time.
For sure.
But like, you had to like have your proof of purchase and a printout of that, and then you had to like sign your life away with blood ink, so they can actually take it apart and fix it.
Left-legged firstborn.
Yep. And then it was pretty strict and easy to follow instructions, and then like I just sent it off. I could look at the tracking number. Do I have the tracking number on hand? I don't think I do. It's on the fridge. I made sure I wouldn't lose it, so I magneted it to the fridge. Because what's funny is when I went to FedEx, like, it was actually really busy, and the guy was like, "Okay, who came between me and another person waiting?" And I pointed at that person. He started helping him. Was like, "Oh, you just dropping off?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm just dropping off." It's like, "Oh, you can just drop the packet off right there." I dropped it off, and I was about to leave, and I was like, "Oh wait, I have to make sure. Like, what are you sending?" It's like PS5. His eyes got wide, dropped everything he's doing. He's like, "Oh shit, really?" I was like, "Yeah." It kind of bricked. He's like, "Oh my god!" And he's just started asking me all these questions, totally disregarding the person he's working with. And he's just like, I was like, so there was like a little piece on the top of the return label that they send you, and I was like, "Do I need to give you this? This is technically like an invoice of what was supposed to be in the package." And he's like, no, you don't need that. Hey, do you want a copy of your receipt? And I was like, do I need one? I was like, not really, but you should definitely get one, blah, blah, blah. And he just totally started helping me and forgot about the person he was talking to. And I was laughing. I was like, but no offense, if the roles were reversed, I would do the same thing.
Fuck that guy. I don't know what he's shipping, but it ain't this.
He's like, I didn't even know what happened, how it happened. And he's like, "Oh, it sucks. You're going to be on your PS4. I was like, "No, I can't go back." It's like, there's no way. It's like, I'm just going to be playing my Switch. That's it. Anytime I need to go on a PS4, I just go to the boys' room and log on for like 2 seconds. But that was on Monday.
Okay.
On the return label, of course, it's being shipped to Texas, so it's probably just arrived. I don't know. I'll check the tracking number later. I just, out of sight, out of mind for right now. Just hoping I get it back, by the end of the year.
Throw a little salt in that wound.
So. Thanks. But interesting side note, I started playing Calamities of Hyrule. Is that it?
Age of Calamity?
That's it. Age of Calamity. The only thing I don't like about it as of now is the movement controls. Like, it just seems really weird. I don't know. Like, it does it.
First Muso?
Yeah, it's my first Muso, and like, since they're using basically the whole art style that is the Breath of the Wild, it just seems really jarring and like kind of stuttery sometimes. It's not as fluid. That's what I'm trying to say.
It's funny, like I said that because I knew exactly what you meant as soon as you said it. Even though
Mm-hmm.
like I never thought about that before you said that, but as soon as you
Mm-hmm.
did, I was like, oh, I know exactly what it means. Because
Yeah.
like it's not. Also, Age of Calamity runs kind of bad on Switch, so there is that. But
They just need to
yeah, there's just
release.
something about the way that Muso games move that
Yeah.
like it's not normal. I don't know how to describe it though.
Yeah, I mean it's a third person overview, but it's like the targeting's weird. Other than like like main bosses, like you click down on the R stick and then it automatically targets like a main boss, but like you could still directionally attack in different ways, but still be focused on that boss, which I thought was weird. But it's fun. I mean, it's my type of game where like you can build up your characters. You could fuse weapons to get certain power ups on your weapons
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So I mean, I'm thinking I'm gonna have a lot of fun with it, and then after that I'm probably going to play Hades depending on how long it takes. Because I think I'm going to blow through this game pretty quickly. So that's a
Right.
no?
So just out of morbid curiosity, I was like, how long? I went to How Long to Beat, one of my favorite websites, and pulled up Age of Calamity just for the story. If you blitz through the story, did nothing else, 23 and a half hours.
Oh, dude, that's nothing.
And if you want to do like the extra shit, but still pretty much just blitzing through it, 38 hours. If you want to do everything, 73 and a half hours.
Okay, for comparativeness, look
Yeah.
up how long it would be for Demon Souls because I platinumed that. But I thoroughly enjoyed that game and I was very methodical in
I'm
playing
like
that.
on How Long to Beat, searching for How Long to Beat. So main story blitz is 24 hours, so about the same. Completionist it says 58. I don't know. You would have to tell me, but that seems a little high from what I know about
Nope, that
completing the
is
game.
no. That is accurate as hell. Because completionist includes getting the penetrator armor,
Sure.
and the penetrator armor, if you knew everything from jump from starting the game what to do, that you have to play through the game at least twice fully. By
So
that I mean you have to collect, what is it, 13 coins, and for each playthrough there's a possibility to get 7 coins. Yeah, about 7 coins. But you have to play them in fractured mode. So in order to unlock fractured mode, you have to give them like 60,000 souls, like 40,000 souls. And fractured mode is basically everything's flipped in the map, and then also you have to have the world either be pure white or pure black tendency. And if you fuck up on a playthrough, there's no way to get it back to pure white. So what you usually do on your first playthrough, this is again, you have to know what you're doing from jump when you first start playing the game, or you'll
sure,
immediately fuck up. Is
sure.
you get it to pure black tendency as soon as possible, get to whatever point you need to go um, to get the coins, and then by beating the bosses, you turn it back to pure white.
I'm
But you
gonna
have to do it in a
go.
specific way, in a specific order.
I'm gonna go to PSN profiles because like I trust their time estimates for the most part when it comes to getting the platinum trophy, which is what we're really talking about here.
Yeah, I don't. Wait, is
Um,
getting the penetrator demon armor a part of platinum? I don't think it is it?
Probably not.
Uh,
Actually, it might be. I have no idea. But when I pull that up, the trophy guide says 40 hours for platinum.
yeah, but I think
So,
getting that armor has nothing to do with platinum.
uh,
Getting the platinum though does also require 2 full playthroughs because you need a specific soul to get a spell, and then you need specific boss souls to get certain magic spells. So
sure.
again, it's multiple playthroughs. I think at bare minimum it's 2 full on playthroughs. For me, it took 2.5.
Sure. And like I'm not saying that so all this is just me saying like this 40-hour estimate is more like what I expected based on your question because you got the platinum, right?
Yeah.
So like that this 40 hours assumes that you're following this guide from the beginning.
Yeah.
If you're not, like, I mean, it could take you 1,000 hours to get the platinum. It's not really a relevant factoid though, right? Like,
there's so many. That's why I kind of like Demon Souls. It's one of those games where like grinding can be super fun and super frustrating as well. Especially like since I went out of my way to get all of the lore specific weapons, which involves beating Black Phantom NPCs, which depending on the NPC, like you have to look up how to cheese that shit. It's pretty fucked up.
Have you? This totally a tangent that's apropos of nothing that we've been talking about per se.
Yeah.
But I'm just kind of like on how long to beat browsing around now. Again, I love this website, but have you seen and are you interested at all in Deathloop?
Yes, I actually am. That's another one of the games that I would like to play. For one, the main character resonates with how I play games, how he cusses every 3 seconds, and gets pissed off at every little inconvenience that comes his way, which is hilarious. Two, it just looks like an interesting concept, and I like games like that because I want to delve into the lore of the game and like why what's happening is happening and like what's the whole like plot device and main purpose of this character and how everything's set up. It just looks interesting. Yeah. Especially since it's a PS5 exclusive as well. Like
PS5/PC,
yeah.
So let me ask you this.
Uh-huh.
Because I posted it in our Discord earlier. But I'm curious what you think about this. I shouldn't say all of it, but there's a group of Xbox gamers who are going on like Metacritic and shit and review bombing this game because it's a PS5 exclusive right now.
What kind of asshole? Jesus Christ.
I just want to pull up some of the hits here really quick.
Please do.
Let's see. I'm not going to call these people out by name, mostly because I don't want to give them any more attention than they're already trying to get. But I will read their little review.
Mm-hmm.
And for the record, so Deathloop came out on September 14th. That is 2 days. 2 days ago when we're recording. This review was posted on September 15th. So let's just give this dude the benefit of the doubt that he beat the game in 1 day. It is, according to How Long to Beat, about a 14, 15-hour game, so it's possible.
Possible, definitely.
That would be a hell of a day.
That, and he would have to, like, know the game mechanics and the intricacies enough to, like, at least beat it well.
I mean, let's just be generous. Let's say that 14, 15 hours includes all your fuck-ups as a newbie player, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But this guy was dedicated enough to sit there and play through the entire game, front to back, a 15-hour game in 1 day. That's like his entire day. He did nothing else but play Deathloop. Okay.
Literally, yeah.
0 out of 10. So already, we're giving him the benefit of the doubt that this dude actually sat there and played through a game, but he hates it so much that he gave it a 0. Doesn't exactly track. Let's see what he had to say. This is the last Bethesda game for you PS fanboys. Enjoy and say goodbye to Bethesda. I don't know what that has to do with the game, my guy.
Doesn't even mention like anything about the game.
Nothing. All right, let's try again. The game may be good or bad. Kind of seems like he didn't play it. Let's go on. Maybe he did.
Wow.
But rating it more than 0 would be against my integrity since this is right now a PlayStation console only game.
So much integrity. He's chock full of integrity.
He's got one more sentence here. Let's see if he redeems himself. Brings it on home. Come next year when it launches on Game Pass, I'll consider giving it a 10.
It's not even like, oh, I'll consider giving it a justifiable score after playing the game. It's like, no,
Straight
I'll
up
consider giving it a 10. It's like, oh, I can play it, 10 out of 10. Kind of fucking childish bullshit.
You know what? Let's just say that those are total random outliers. Let's read some of the most recent reviews on here, shall we?
All right. Yep. Yeah.
Gameplay feels outdated. Graphic is outdated. Sound design is outdated. An outdated game. 0 out of 10.
That seems legit. Yeah.
Just based on what I've seen of it, that sounds outrageous. All right.
That just seems spiteful.
Maybe that guy is just somebody who hates Bethesda in general and paid $70 to play this game anyway. Let's see what this other guy has to say. Gameplay and mechanics feel outdated as gets repetitive so fast. Wait for a sale if you want to buy. 0 out of 10.
Did he not see the trailer?
Okay.
The game's inherent mechanic is to be repetitive because you're
strange
playing. Okay.
Let's try again. Dishonored with a new skin, outdated graphics, outdated gameplay, POS, corrupt IGN with 10 point. 0 out of 10. Okay. You know what? One more try. Surely this review is going to be great. This game looks and runs great on PS5 and is technically impressive. Okay, so already complete 180 from the other three guys. Let's see where they go.
All right.
That being said, I do not enjoy the game at all. I have no clue what I'm doing or what I should be doing. Every time I enter a new section of the game, I'm greeted with a dozen prompts explaining how the game works to me. It's that feeling of unboxing a new board game and trying to decipher how the hell you play and what all the rules are. Then on top of that, random people can enter your game and kill you. Okay, that's kind of dope.
That is pretty dope.
Yeah, this one is just not enjoyable for me. Wish I could get my money back. 4 out of 10. You know what?
I respect him. I respect his review.
I think that 4 out of 10 is a little bit too low, even if you don't like the game, but
it's more of he didn't understand like the game. I don't know if he's a gaming novice. He just got his PS5 for Christmas because his daddy spent his black card on it, and he's just playing games to play games or whatever. But I at least respect that he gave an honest review, unlike the previous guys.
Sure.
That being said, that whole thing of people being able to come in as, I forgot what the assassin's name was from the trailer. It's a chick, but come in and like assassinate you as well is pretty dope. Like that's one thing that you can also do on Demon Souls. So you can play offline and not have to worry about that, or you can play online and people can just randomly pop up in your world and just beat your ass. There's one dude, he fought me on this little cliff mountain where there's like manta rays shooting spears at you. Mm-hmm. I kicked his ass off the cliff like Spartacus.
John.
Yeah, what's up?
I have one more review I need to read to you. For you specifically.
Okay, all right.
Then we'll just move on.
All right.
1 out of 10.
All right.
Almost as bad as Returnal.
What kind of small-dicked fuck nugget?
He's got that real small dick energy.
Right. Legit. First... So I'm guessing he doesn't like the game because you have to do this, like, technically the same thing over and over again, just in different ways. He can go suck a dick and die. Okay, that was a little harsh. No, it's just, if you don't like the game, that's fine.
Yeah.
But don't just bomb the game because you don't like that specific type of game. Like you saw in the trailer, it tells you play the same day over and over again, just like Returnal. Like, if you didn't like Returnal, why would you buy this game?
I mean, literally, the tagline is if at first you don't succeed, die again. Like, I don't know what you thought it was going to be like.
Yeah, and like
Here, this is the truth. This is a bunch of Xbox fanboys coming in here and shitting on this game because it's a PS5 exclusive and Arcane is owned by Xbox. But here's the problem. You're going in and review bombing one of your own console's first party developers. Like, what the mental disconnect necessary for some shit like that? I just can't.
And the worst part about it is, like, I don't think, like, you have to really hate something to pay attention to when something drops and just decide to review bomb the shit out of it.
Yeah. Like,
to no benefit. Like, you gain nothing from it.
Yeah, straight up. Like, that's my thing with review bombing in general, is like, there's nothing to be gained by review bombing something. Nothing. Like, I guess the idea is, like, if you review bomb it enough, less people will buy it. But,
see,
like,
that's the
why
thing?
would you do that to a studio that's owned by the console you're, like, championing? It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. And honestly, with today's, like, the way that culture works, it actually has a negative effect. Like, if you don't want anybody to buy the game, don't give it any sort of hype or attention, publicity whatsoever.
Yeah.
Now, if it gets good publicity, people will hear about it. They'll be curious about it. They'll play the game. Gets bad publicity, people are going to hear about it. They're like, is this game really as bad as they say? Let me buy it and find out.
Like, look at The Last of Us Part 2. Like, that game got horrifically review bombed, and people talk shit about it because that game sucks, and it's still sold incredible, even though that game is total garbage.
Exactly. Like, we're at a point in time where people are so stagnant and thirsting for something to do most of the times. Like, it's like, oh, this is a horrible game. Let me see how horrible this is. I need to be included in this community. Is like, I need to join the mob or I need to be against the mob. I need to figure out what side I'm on. So I have to play the game to figure that out.
And it's like, it all kind of breaks down when you think about it, right? Because, like, we're in an age where people will actively seek out and watch or play bad games and movies just because they're bad.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, we watched a movie this week.
Wow.
That was not nearly as bad as last week.
Okay. All right. That's that. At least we got that far. All right. Cool.
John, what did you think about Predators? I'm just going to straight up ask you what you thought before I go into anything that I think about this.
So I'm just going to give you bullet points and we'll just dive into them, like, later on. Bullet points is they fixed the problem of the scenery of where the Predator is at its height. Okay, they fixed that problem.
We went back to the jungle.
Yep. They took the good points of Predator 2, you know, all these new tech, including, and then added more Predators. So again, another bonus.
Super
Predators. On top of a Predator Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
And then they took it a step further. Let's get an amazing cast, a camaraderie of good actors to carry this fucking shit, which they did. A lot of my favorite action actors and some people who shine in this movie. And then Topher Grace. But we'll get to that later. All in all, it is definitely a step up from Predator 2, but not as good as the first Predator. But I liked it.
So for the most part, I agree with what you just said. I can't say most of that any better. I do have a number of issues with this movie. I think the biggest one for me is kind of what I'll call Episode 7 syndrome, where it's kind of like Star Wars Episode 7 in that, like, it just kind of retreads the first movie again and does
Yeah.
the same thing, paying tons of homage to what that
Mm-hmm.
movie was.
Yes.
However, it's definitely not just the same fucking movie.
It isn't.
It kind of is, because we just go back to the idea of there's this group of people in the jungle being hunted by predators.
Yeah.
But I think that this movie does enough to differentiate itself where I'm not mad about it like I was with that movie.
Yeah.
Like you said, there's a killer cat. Like, let me just pull up this cast.
Oh, dude.
Let's see. Cast. We got Adrian Brody,
Mm-hmm.
Topher Grace,
Mm-hmm.
Alice Braga, Walton Goggins,
Yep.
Skip Nikolai, Lawrence Fishburne, Danny Trejo. I mean, just killing it out here, man.
Yes. And also more predators.
But I'm going to start this conversation off like this. Since we're talking about the cast, I think the sequence with Lawrence Fishburne is the worst part of the movie.
You need to elaborate on that. You got me like vision versus vision right now. I require elaboration.
So up to that point, there's this like mystery going on when they're dropped in. What's going on? They're being hunted by predators. There's action. There's intrigue. People are dying. Mm-hmm. And then we meet Lawrence Fishburne, and we come to a screeching halt. We go into this random bunker.
Yeah.
And just kind of sit around and talk for a little bit. We don't learn much, except that the predators that we've seen so far in this movie are like bigger versions of the regular predators. And there's like a civil war going on between them and shit like that.
Yeah.
And that's really the only thing that we get from Lawrence Fishburne. And then he like immediately turns around and betrays these people to try and steal their shit or just to get them out of his way so he doesn't have to feed them, whatever.
Yeah.
And then Lawrence Fishburne dies and he's just gone. It just kind of feels like a waste of 20 minutes or whatever it was.
I have to agree with you on that, because when you introduce a character that's survived such a basically hellscape of a situation, and he said seasons, like, how did we get elaboration on how long a season is?
Not in the movie. While you talk, I'll try and see if I can find out.
But yeah, like he said, he's been there for 10 seasons. And like, fuck it, even if we tell like seasons are like 3 months, right? 10, 3 months, 30 months, almost 3 years on this predator planet where he's constantly getting hunted, has other people who might find out where he is, who might get him killed, but he has thrived. Not survived, thrived. Talking about, I killed about, 2, 3, maybe 4 of them. Like, he doesn't even know how many of them he killed. Maybe because of lunacy, maybe because he's done it a lot. Whatever. But introducing such a badass character and then basically turning him into a hollow, traitorous snake of a person and not getting any real payoff from all of his accumulated knowledge and tech is definitely a waste.
He really is just kind of a waste of a character.
Yeah, it sucks because it's Lawrence Fishburne as well. Like that. Yeah.
I mean, his acting in the movie is phenomenal. I'll give him that. Like he plays a crazy fuck that's been there forever, really well. And I did find it. A season on this planet is roughly 3 years.
So he's been there for 30 years.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Which would certainly explain why he's gone a little nuts.
Yeah.
Being by yourself and being hunted constantly for 30 fucking years would probably do that to you.
That probably explains why the Predator helmet he's wearing, it looks like to match that of a shogun or a samurai.
Could be. Could be that they pulled in somebody who was wearing it and he just scavenged it. That's kind of what I got from that.
and then he attached it to the Predator helmet.
Sure, why not?
I guess.
You want some covering for the back of your head too? We'll just fuse this shit together.
I guess, but the fact like he got their tech is pretty awesome. Like that's the first instance of anybody in the Predator franchise like getting their tech and like using it to its near full capacity, like including the camouflage tech, the blasters and everything like that. Of course, like Danny Glover, he got that chakram, which was badass, but like he didn't use it, like he never threw it. He just used it as basically like a circular sword. I mean, he used it to proficiency, but still. But to have someone who can cloak like a predator, like uses their vision that they use to their visor, and also their blasters, that's definitely something that I would feel more comfortable with if I'm on a death planet like that.
So, other than that, because my disappointment with the cast doesn't end there.
Okay.
Because they also kind of waste Danny Trejo in this movie.
See, I figured you were going to go there. I'll let you speak, and then I'll talk about it afterwards.
I think that the way that he goes out is dope, actually.
Yes.
Especially that reveal of, like, he's dead the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And that really even further cements my idea that these motherfuckers understand English, like, more than we initially thought.
I mean, if you think about it, they've been hunting humans on that planet, humans and other species on that planet for 30 years, give or take. At
least.
And he says that each time they come back, they evolve. Their combative techniques, their technology, like everything. Like, so they set a trap using Danny Trejo, again, brilliantly facing away from him, so they don't really know that he's dead. And basically having him repeat in his voice, "Help me." And it, like, if you think about it, just like when we first talked about in the Predator movie, it's like a duck call. You know how you like lure ducks out or whatever, like you have a duck call and they either come toward you or like think it's like a warning and then fly away. Like you're weeding them out. You're flushing them out. So again, like they probably do understand English to a degree, or they can at least know when someone's like calling for help or pleading for mercy. So they can use that to their advantage. Now, back to Danny Trejo, and he's one of those actors to where there's very few movies to where his presence isn't just an immediate death flag for his character. Dead serious. I forgot.
You're not wrong.
Who's the other guy? He played the Ned Stark in Game of Thrones.
Oh, Sean Bean.
Sean Bean, yeah. And then like they did a whole like parade of his best hits, like in 007. Like he basically has the death flag forever over his head, no matter what character he plays. Danny Trejo is the same, but there's a reason behind that. So for anyone who doesn't know, Danny Trejo actually was in a lot of gangs, and he was a criminal before he became a notarized actor. So he thought, since he was gaining so much notoriety and all these roles, he's like, I don't want anybody to lead the life that I led prior to me getting this break. So I want kids to know that criminals, bad guys, get their up and comings. So nearly every time that Danny Trejo plays a criminal or a bad guy in a movie, he says, I need to be scripted to die. The more horrific, the better. And that's where that comes from. There's actually very few movies that Danny Trejo stars in to where he does not die. Spy Kids movies is one of them. Of course, Machete, but he's like the main character in that. But off the top of my head, those are the only two franchises. And even within those franchises, that's probably, I think he's only been 2 Machete movies. And then in the Spy Kids movies, I think he's only shown in 2 of those. So that's 4 movies I can think of off the top of my head where he doesn't get horrifically murdered. But that's part of Danny Trejo's credo. He wants to show kids that crime doesn't pay. He doesn't want them to go down the same path. So that's why when you see him, that's a death flag. And like I understood that he was gonna die, but the way that they did take him out was pretty awesome. And also it showed a little bit of fleshing out of the sniper's character to where she's like, I can't leave him. And he's like, well, you're on your own. So instead of just like leaving him there, she shoots him through the chest, not knowing he's already dead, but like putting him out of his misery. Which honestly, in that situation, I probably would have done the same shit. Like,
Sure.
yeah, it was pretty good. And then like later on, we find out it's basically her trying to get redemption for leaving her spotter to die and watching from a safe spot.
And and all that's fine. I don't necessarily agree with the premise that like that's going to teach anybody anything. But Danny Trejo's free to do whatever he wishes.
Exactly. Yeah.
My whole thing is just that Danny Trejo's a better actor than kill him in the first 5 fucking minutes.
I get it. Yeah. That's why it does kind of suck that he has that whole idea that like he needs to die to show kids the better path, but I mean it's fine. I would have definitely liked to see him a lot longer in the movie. Wait, I think you missed one of the actors in here. Let me see. Predators cast. I think you missed a big one. Oh, I'm gonna butcher this.
Mahershala?
Yeah, Mahershala Ali.
I'm not gonna lie to you. As much as Mahershala Ali is, like, he's a banging actor.
Dude, he's gonna be our next Blade. He's gonna be our next Blade. You are a terrible individual.
I'm sorry.
And you deserve to be shunned. Deserve to be shunned.
This is the problem, dude. If it wasn't Adrian Brody, Topher Grace, or what is her name again? God, I can't remember her damn name.
Elise Braga?
Yeah. If it isn't one of those 3 characters, they're pretty much irrelevant in this movie. The only one that's like super memorable is Lawrence Fishburne because he has like this whole sequence around him specifically. Mm-hmm. Everybody else is just kind of there. They do things. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying like they die in the first 5 minutes and are totally forgettable, but it's hard to remember. Like, okay, actually, I take it back because who is it? Nolan? No, that's Lawrence Fishburne. Stans. Yeah, Walter Stans. Who he's also done a bunch of other shit.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody in this movie is done a bunch of roles that you probably know them from. Like he's notable. But none of them do anything. I remember everybody in this movie. I forgot about Mahershala Ali. I'm not gonna lie. I totally forgot he was in this movie because he doesn't do anything in this movie. Like, let's be honest. He doesn't do anything of any concrete value in this movie. He's there. That's about it. But everybody else is just kind of inconsequential. The only reason that Topher Grace is notable in this movie is because he makes it so far into the movie and has a reveal that doesn't amount to anything, by the way.
It really doesn't. Because, like, they even touched upon it in the beginning of the movie where it's like, oh, he's special ops, he's Spetsnaz, he's from here. Like, basically heavy hitters, killers. This dude's from the cartel. And it's like, we got a nerdy doctor.
Which, had you seen this movie before?
I have, but it was a really long time ago, so there's certain parts that I forgot.
Did you remember that reveal?
Yes, I remember that reveal because, no offense, like, I respect Topher Grace for trying to get out of that whole stigma of just like, I'm nerdy Eric from That 70s Show, like, I'm actually a more fleshed out, better character, but he overcompensated in 90% of the roles that he did outside of That 70s Show. Like, doing Venom, being like the super antagonist CIA agent head in American Ultra. And now in this, to where he's like, oh yeah, you think I'm that nerdy guy when actually I'm a fucking serial killer or whatever. And I was just like, you're not threatening at all. Like, you have to act like a punk bitch because all the other people around you, if they had a hint that you were trying to kill them, they would murder you on the spot. You didn't stand a chance. Like, the only reason that you're such a prolific serial killer that the predators took you is because you have an innate knowledge of human anatomy and like poisons and chemicals and stuff like that. That only works when the subject doesn't know that you're going after them. Yes, that does make you a predator, but in a group like that, you're the prey. Like, if you fuck up like once, if you show your hand just a little too much, one of them is going to murder you just to make sure that they don't have to worry about you.
And spoiler, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
I only asked that because I was curious, like, how long it would take somebody who didn't know that to figure that twist out. I feel like they kind of hit it too hard at the beginning to where you're kind of going to be suspicious of him the entire film.
Well,
so
yeah.
It's probably not going to be one of those things like, oh my God, I never saw that coming.
I mean, they didn't. I mean, they kind of had to go over the roster to give the audience an idea of like, oh, these guys are like some of the deadliest people on Earth, and that's why they're on this planet. So when they started going through the roster, and then they're like, and this guy, it's like it automatically makes you think it's like, so why would he be put on this planet? They're not going to have any like rabbits when they're actually pulling in like, you know, mountain lions and alligators for their prey. They're not going to have some sort of meek rabbit that they're going to pull in. There has to be something about them. So yeah, it's in the back of your head. And then like there's foreshadowing of when like he saves the Spetsnaz guy from getting poisoned by that plant, which by the way is really weird that they're on an alien planet, but he recognizes like that plant is just ridiculously poisonous, and that he knows the scientific name for that specific plant. That's just weird to me.
I mean, not necessarily. Like, if they're dropping humans into this place regularly, you would want to make the planet habitable to humans, so it's not crazy that they would just snatch up random shit from Earth and put it in here to create
like transplant a whole jungle ecosystem. I guess.
And then like you put the poisonous, dangerous plants in there because, you know, fuck us.
Yeah, survivalists.
The thing that I thought was weird was the second that they were dropped in there, Isabel was just like, I've never seen this jungle before. Bitch, you've been to every jungle on Earth? You just immediately know that this is not an Earth jungle? The fuck?
Well, that's not so far-fetched, because if she's a sniper of the class that she's alluded to, and the fact that they had to pull her from Earth so they could hunt her, that's totally logical. Like, no offense, when you're scoping, like, you don't have to be to every jungle, but you must know about every jungle. In that sense, like, you have to know, like, as a sniper, you need to know the terrain you're going to. You need to know the high points, low points, good lines of sight. So yes, you'd have to be able to look at the area that you're in and be able to say this topography is not right, or be saying, okay, I'm here, that's where the sun's setting, okay, I need to go up there to get like a good line of sight for wherever my target's going to be. Like, as a sniper, you have to take in everything about your surroundings. So that's totally logical that she would be like, this jungle's just weird, because she's like going off of the weather for the time of year when she was snatched. The weather, it's too hot for that. This jungle, oh, I've been in that jungle, it's too dense for that. This jungle, oh no, like, I've like researched that jungle for an assignment. Like, I feel like she would have the knowledge or know-how of a lot of the jungles on Earth to be like, this doesn't make sense.
So what you're saying is logical. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Okay.
But I still don't buy it. Because like you're thrown into a random spot in the jungle and you're going to look around and be like, nope, jungle doesn't make sense. It's one thing to be like, okay, well, based on the time of year and the weather we're experiencing, this should be here. So we're like somewhere in South America. But then to look around like, nope, there's no way that this is possible on Earth. And your immediate conclusion is that we're not on Earth. That's a huge stretch, dude.
It is a huge stretch.
How unbelievably confident would you have to be about all of the geography of the place that you're talking about to immediately go, we're on another planet? Like, that takes an extraordinary amount of confidence.
True. Also,
like, there's no way on Earth that there's some tiny jungle that you're not familiar with in that area that you got dropped in. It's just not possible.
I mean, maybe, because like the jungle on Earth is just so vast. Like, there's multitudes, like thousands of species that we've never even found. That's fine because nobody's charted everything. It's very dense and dangerous, whatever. But also the fact that when they finally got out into the open and Adrian Brody's character is like, I'm just gonna leave you guys behind, and she's all like, yeah, you can leave, you want to see some crazy shit? And then she does the whole compass trick of putting a leaf and a piece of metal on a leaf and it's just spinning around. Like, that could be quantified as like a natural phenomenon, but that's in very few spots on the Earth that I think that happens. And that's due to, I think it's high metal content in those areas.
Right.
But for the area that she was in that she did it, and she probably did it multiple times, it's like, this doesn't add up. I figured when she got dropped in, she first assessed a lot about the area and then just like came to that conclusion. It's a lot of stuff that probably happened off screen. I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt because she seems to do some due diligence at the very least. She didn't just immediately murder the people that she saw through her lens.
First of all, we see at the end of the movie that everybody, and even at the beginning of the movie, like, you could make the conclusion that they're dropped at different times, but really they're not. We know by the end of the movie that they're dropped roughly at the exact same time. So, like, she didn't have very long to figure all this out. You're trying to tell me that this bitch is the most qualified sniper imaginable. Like, she figured all this out like that. And, by the way, there's one point in the movie where she says something to the effect of maybe somewhere in the Amazon, implying that she's not sure. Like, she's not 100% sure. So the fact that she's just like, nope, can't be on Earth.
I mean, to be fair, they stated, like, this is the creme de la creme of mercenaries and killers that they picked up on Earth.
Is it, though? Because they immediately drop in, like, 15 more at the end of the movie.
I mean,
how creme de la creme are they really? They've been doing this for at least 30 years. Just dropping in people left, right, and sideways. Which, by the way, nobody on Earth has noticed. They're just snatching up motherfucker. Like, you can't just snatch up the baddest green fucking beret on the planet and nobody notices.
I mean, they might, because they might have grabbed him while he was out doing some wet work, and like, when you get taken out during wet work, like, they disavow your existence.
They might disavow your existence. They don't fail to notice.
True, but they're not going to go and search.
And furthermore, that brings me to my biggest problem with this movie. In the first two movies, the Predator comes to us. Yeah. In this movie, they come here, snatch us up, and then take us to a random planet and drop us in, and then hunt us again. Why? Why not just hunt us where we are? What benefit is there to taking them to a game preserve? Because, like, mind you, Topher Grace is the big problem with all this, right? Yeah. They had to observe a shitload of just random-ass motherfuckers to find this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, oh, he's just going around snatching up women in the middle of the night and cutting their throats and drinking their bathwater and shit. We'll take him.
From hell. Modern version.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm still slightly traumatized that I saw that one, like,
Oh my god. It was like
archival picture and shit, too.
There was literally like half of the whole like chapter. It was probably like 15 to 20 pages of just artistry and him just reveling in the act that he was doing. It was disgusting.
Anyway.
Yes.
So they snatch up Topher Grace's rendition of Jack the Ripper.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, you went through a ton of effort to put them in a game preserve. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, that's not how you run a game preserve.
I mean, they might be servicing the rich predator clientele.
And furthermore, we know that that's not how the predator normally operate either, because we've seen them do it. So what the fuck is this? Is this a super predator, like... Is this like...
It's a training facility.
It's definitely not.
It's definitely a training facility. What they do is they take the biggest and the baddest from all around the cosmos that they can find. For this reason, this specific game preserve specializes in humans, whatever, and drops them in there, and then watches them, hunts them down, learns their techniques, and then basically make themselves better hunters. That's the whole point of this game preserve, is to make themselves better hunters. I think that's basically what Lawrence Fishburne tells them. Like, they come back better with better tech, and they basically evolve. They're literally
that's the problem, though, isn't it? Like, if it was a training ground, then you wouldn't come back over and over and over again. You would go there, learn what you need to learn, and then just go do what you're going to do. If they keep coming back better and better and better and better and better, that implies that, like, they're just not stopping.
Yeah, because
that doesn't make any sense.
They're probably not just training a certain set 3 group. Remember, he says always 3s. There's probably someone who's running the preserve and takes like 2 newbies and basically tests out new techniques with the newbies and see what works and what doesn't, and then disseminates that information. And then they're just basically, I'm trying to say, this is a predator focus group. It's just like, hey, we got this new shoulder mounted cannon that uses ion particles rather than superheated lasers. Let's see how this works, because the last time we did this run of the preserve, they dodged all these bullets and it wasn't quick to fire enough to get a moving target at such and such speed. Like that kind of stuff. They're basically like R&D for Predator, on top of like giving some of the newbies some controlled experience in hunting some dangerous game.
Okay. So I still don't buy your theory, but I understand where you're coming from.
Okay.
This is what I will say. And I'm going to go off topic for a minute, but I'm going to bring it back around.
Okay. All right.
So I'm looking at our favorite website here, Xenopedia.
Yeah.
On this movie. Apparently, this movie was originally pitched in 1994 by Robert Rodriguez when he was making Desperado.
Mm-hmm.
But 20th Century Fox rejected it because it would cost too much and they didn't have the technology to do the special effects work that his script would require.
Uh-huh.
So, this dude named Vincenzo Natali, you might know him as the director of Cube or Splice.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Reworked the script a bit and repitched it to Fox. They rejected it again. But eventually it was extensively rewritten and then finally pushed through for this 2010 release date that we actually got. Robert Rodriguez produced it, and this is the movie that we got. It's got a lot of his bones of a lot of the bones of his original script, but it's been reworked. Now, I say all of that just to give you the context for why Robert Rodriguez's comments are relevant. He said that the mainstream predators, which would be the non-super predators, are the ones that we don't see except for the one that's tied up in this movie, dump their outcasts on this planet for unknown reasons. The super predators use the game preserve planet for hunting prey and for experimenting on themselves. Now, that like halfway jives with what you're talking about.
Okay.
That's like a mid-step. And that still doesn't make a ton of sense to me, but I'll roll with it, I guess. Like, the problem is, like, if you're going to snatch up the baddest motherfuckers around and throw them in the game preserve, you wouldn't do that for training. You would grab, like, this fucking Yakuza lackey over here to, like, learn kind of how they do shit before you go fucking hunt the real game, which is like the big crime boss.
No.
It doesn't make any sense to train them on the best game because then there's no good game left. Think about it. If you're out there snatching up the best game to train on, then what's the point?
I get what you're saying by depleting the supply, but to be fair, the way that a lot of aliens have been portrayed to see Earth is we just spit out babies just because, like, there's not going to be any dwindling of our population unless done by our own hands. So I think they've watched Earth enough to be like, there's not going to be any less supply of very hostile, deadly, merciless humans on this planet. Like, we're not going to deplete the supply at all. Like, a lot of the ways that we as the U.S. think of consuming a lot of our products. So we don't really think about it. And I think it is flawed thinking. You are correct in that, but they're not wrong at that point in time, to be honest with you. Like, you could find a whole bunch of bad muchachos around Earth.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with you on that, but like, they're presented to us in this movie as like the baddest motherfuckers around. Yeah, we're talking about a sniper who immediately knows that this isn't
really just going to keep
jungle.
Circling back. Okay,
it's an absurd comment, but like, I'll just roll with it. Let's just say that she's that good.
Yeah,
we're talking about the top 1% of the 1% of a badass motherfucker to know it like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's an intense amount of knowledge.
Yes,
and then she's also a badass sniper. And like, you're throwing them away on train. It just doesn't make sense. Now, if it were something like the super predators are like so revered and shit that they don't go hunting on these other planets anymore, they make the little bitch jungle predators bring the prey to them in the jungle preserve.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll roll with that. We don't know that, but like, I'll roll with that, I guess. But like, that's kind of a stretch based on what we know from Robert Rodriguez in that comment and what we see in the movie. That doesn't seem likely.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, maybe there's little bitch super predators that they like punk around until they're good.
I mean, there was the one that was chained to the.
That was a regular predator.
That was a regular one.
Yeah. The only super predators in this movie are the three that we see, which all have badass names. Let's look at them real quick. I got it.
Yes, sir.
Here. We have the Tracker, the Falconer, and the Berserker.
The Berserker's like probably anytime that name is used to describe a character or a character's state of being, I love that shit. Like, when I started getting heavily into the Fate Stay Night series, Berserker was probably my favorite class. Like, anytime they said, oh, this is Berserker class, whoever that Berserker class was representing in Mythos was like, fuck, I love this person. Like, my favorite one was the Hercules one. Because that motherfucker. Wow.
How did you feel about the Berserker Predator, like, maskless review? How'd you feel about him in general? Because I'm going to be honest with you. I don't love the whole jawbone attached to the front of his mask thing.
Yeah, I didn't like his mask. Like, if we're talking about like badass masks, it was the second one that was for me.
I think the Falconer has the best mask of the three. Because the Tracker is the one with like the tusks and shit on it. I don't like that either.
I actually like that one.
Like,
I actually did.
I'm not
I didn't
about
have
that.
a problem with that.
I get it. I don't hate it,
But you don't love it
I'm not
either.
about that. The Falconer though, like that mask is just fucking dope, dude. That's like if I was a super predator, that's the motherfucker that I would be. Just like sitting there all chill and shit, throwing out my falcon and shit. I would definitely be that guy.
His mask definitely looks the cleanest out of all of them, but I would go with the Tracker if I had to choose between the three.
Okay, that's fine. But anyway, how did you feel about Berserker's design with and without mask?
I wasn't a fan of it. No, like the whole like superimposing the jawbone on it, it just takes away from the clean aesthetic of the mask that I like so much. The reason I like the Tracker so much is like you still get the clean mask, and then like you add on like a portion of the kill that doesn't take away from the look of the mask for me. Like it's just like a nice clean aesthetic added onto the mask, but doesn't take away from its look or feel. Like the other one, it just looks like he did an arts and crafts project, and it's just like, this jawbone would look really good on this mask. They just chopped off half the mask and put the jawbone on there, and thought he looked dope. And everybody was so scared of him that they didn't tell him it looked like shit.
You're not wrong.
That's basically what it is. Like, honestly, the Tracker looks probably the most badass, other than the fact like he has the least amount of armor. Like he just has the mask, and then like it's just his body. So like I would choose like the Falconer's, like the Berserker's armor with the Tracker's mask.
Okay. All right. I hate it, but you do you. But that brings me to the other ones too, because we see actually a couple more aliens in this movie.
Oh yeah.
So we got the Hellhounds,
which were really fucking cool.
Yeah, you like the Hellhounds? You're into that?
Dude, they're super fucking resilient. Taking a bunch of like shotgun shells and Gatling fire and still charging at them.
They might actually be more resilient than the Predators themselves.
Oh, 100%. Like, there's not one Predator out there that would take that kind of abuse and still be running at them.
I do love the fact, though, that they use them
to flesh out their game. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like just like dogs, like they use them like we would use hunting dogs.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a cool idea that even a more advanced species like this still resorts to those most basic hunting techniques.
Yeah, because they use it as a way to see how they react, who they would leave behind, who they'd see as the weakest one, who doesn't respond well to such a impromptu attack, and then they would plan accordingly after seeing their reactions. Like, It's kind of like tracking 101. And again, to your previous statement, is like, that just seems like something innate to anybody who's hunting nearly anything. Like, if it's an unknown species or an unknown assailant, you'd have to figure out like how they're going to attack, their methods and methodology, the way that they think, before you just go balls to the wall against them, because you might be setting yourself up for failure.
Sure. And then, of course, we have the River Ghost.
The River Ghost.
This thing is fucking dope.
Jesus Christ. That thing's more hideous than the Predator.
It really is. It wasn't especially dangerous in this movie, but
Nah, that thing was a punk bitch, but it
fucking
looks
dope.
horrifying.
I know, they're fucking rad looking. They don't do shit.
They have like little insects crawling out of their pores and shit.
um, I'm gonna check something out of morbid curiosity.
Okay.
If you had to guess, which one of the three movies that we've seen so far do you think did the best at the box office? And which one do you think did the worst?
The worst Predator 2, and I think box office wise, I think Predator
did the best box office wise if you take in inflation, maybe?
So let's take a look. In order. Predator 1 had a budget of $15 million,
Mm-hmm.
which, first of all, very impressive. Worldwide gross on its original release of $59 million.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, so
Even with inflation, that's chump change.
glad you said that, because Predator 2 had a. Does it list my budget on this one? It does not give me a budget, so we'll ignore the budget. Let's say it's roughly the same as the first, maybe a little bit more. And had a worldwide gross of $30.6 million. So that's pretty rough. Basically, cut the budget in half. Not hard to see why the studio killed this franchise for a while.
Yep.
Then Predators came out in 2010 with a budget of $40 million. Let's take a guess at what the worldwide gross for this movie was. Random stab.
55 million.
Try 52.
Damn, I'm so good at that though.
So it barely made its budget back and made less than the original movie. Not even talking about inflation.
This is so bad.
So not great. But it was good enough to get us another one. Which we'll talk about this next week, but let's just say that there's it's not looking good for us getting another movie anytime soon. So, with that in mind, I think that this is the best one since the original for sure.
Yes, that's not even in question. And I did the calculation for inflation. Seems like it's 138 million. Let me check.
From 1987?
Let me check.
That can't be right.
Let me check my comments. To 2021, yeah. Let me check. Oh, no. Adding 13 million. Okay. Never mind. This is a cost of living calculator. Get the hell out of here.
Oh, shit. Actually, yeah. If $50 million in 1987 would be $120 million today.
Okay. At least I was right, even though I was looking at the wrong thing.
That is a incredible adjustment for inflation. But and I mean, I guess to be fair, I don't know if this has been adjusted for inflation.
No, usually I think only Box Office Mojo does the adjustments for inflation, depending on how long the movie has been when it was released.
Well, that's what I'm looking at.
Oh, okay.
But normally when something's adjusted for inflation, it says so, and this does not tell me anything about having been adjusted for inflation. So maybe it was. I don't know. But I mean, I will say this. If this is not adjusted for inflation, it's impressive given that the domestic opening was $12 million.
Yeah.
That it then turned around 59. Like, okay.
I mean, this is like a really good movie, even by today's standards.
Also, this doesn't make any fucking. You know what? We're just forget it. Forget it. We're
Just going down a rabbit hole.
It's just a shitty rabbit hole of no relevance.
Mhm.
My real question is, how much better do you think the original movie is than this movie? Like, if you had to put a scale on it somehow, like, how much better is that?
So I would say that the original, compared to this movie, is at least 2 to 3 times better.
Oh wow,
Because
that's a lot.
it is because the subtleties of the original movie in so many different aspects speak volumes.
Sure.
And it's not just like your run of the mill like action movie. The action's actually pretty tame compared to like the subsequent movies after it, but they work with suspense and character development and interactions between a tight knit group a lot better in the original movie than any of the following movies. I will
Sure.
say this, comparative to the Alien series, the Predators have a way better antagonist to go against. But that's because they choose that. Other than like the second one is more like I'm dealing with FBI agents who want to try and capture me and then a random crazy cop.
Sure.
But it's still better than a group of miners and the worst band of Marines I've ever seen in my life.
Oh shit, that still makes me laugh.
It's so bad. We're gonna hire these badass Marines. They folded so fast.
So fast.
They folded faster than playing cards at a Texas Hold'em station in Vegas. It's terrible.
So, here's my
Mhm.
question.
Yeah.
Where do you rank all the movies?
Ooh.
Including Alien.
Ew.
Full ranking now.
Gotta get out a notepad.
You gotta
for
really dig
this.
deep.
Gotta get out a notepad for this. Okay, so going from best to worst, Predator is definitely number one.
Okay.
Then we're gonna go. Gonna go Alien, and then Alien Resurrection, then Aliens.
What?
You heard me.
You think Resurrection is better than okay?
Uh,
Fucking lunatic.
then we're gonna go Predators. Actually, no, I
Wait,
already messed up.
wait,
I already
wait!
messed up.
You're saying the
Up.
Resurrection is better than Oh my god!
Hold up. All right, okay. We're putting Predators in front of Alien Resurrection. Then we're putting Alien Resurrection. Then we're doing Aliens. Then we're doing Predator 2. And then we're doing Alien Cubed.
You think that Alien 3 is the worst movie that we've seen so far?
Yes.
Like, unironically.
Unironically, not pulling your leg, none of that. Like
I
from purely my entertainment from watching the movies, that's my list. Like if you're talking about like what movies are actually like just arguably better, it would go Alien, Aliens, Predator, Predator 2, Alien Cubed, and then Resurrection. But from an enjoyment standpoint, that's my list.
How?
So I've talked about this. We talked about Alien Resurrection actually more than we should have, for longer than we should have. But it just suffered from having a horrible script, but such a mate. It has probably, out of the whole Alien franchise, the best scenes in the whole franchise.
You are an actual crazy person.
I may be, but a fucking paraplegic, backwards, like leaning backwards and shooting at an alien upside down. You know, alien swimming, coming to murder people in the deep. An alien torturing a soldier by pressing a button. Like, there was just a lot of really crazy good scenes, and it wasn't like shitty, janky CGI or anything like that. Most of it does was like practical effects. It was good. Like, it was super entertaining to watch. Now, the whole, like, the script and storyline as a whole, straight, hot, unforeseeable, merciless garbage. Oh, and I forgot about, what was that one movie? I forgot about Prometheus. Where do I put Prometheus?
Oh, fuck, so did I.
Yeah, right? That's how bad it is.
Dude,
like, honestly.
Prometheus, and then did you even put in...
Nope, I didn't put the movie after it either.
RIP!
Yeah.
I totally
Alien
forgot.
Covenant.
How did... Holy shit.
Yeah, so Prometheus and Alien Covenant, like, go after Alien Cubed. So, like,
I mean, even still, like, I can't follow you on this logic, dude. It's crazy.
it's totally fine. Like, this is why you have me here.
So
To
you
get-
could just break my brain?
Yes! Yes, that's exactly why. Because, like, my problems with, like, Prometheus and Alien Covenant, they weren't enjoyable movies because of how they ended. Like, Prometheus would be higher on the list because it's super intriguing. Like, yeah, it's slow. I have a problem with, like, slow burn movies, but, like, if it engages my mind and makes me think throughout the whole thing, is like, what does this mean? Where is this going? Like, yeah, totally fine. But the payoff is not there. And it is a huge problem for me. Like, it's something I really can't get over. Like, even when we rewatched it, there was still this, like, gnawing nausea in the pit of my stomach from the first time I watched it. It was like, it didn't give me any answers. This left me wanting in a bad way. And that's why Prometheus is down there. Alien Covenant is at the bottom of the barrel because it just keeps going off of Prometheus and not giving me any real answers, making more questions, and that David is just a fucking crazy person, and that the fact, like, everybody in the crew is just a irredeemable idiot
Sure.
on so many different levels. Like, the problem with the Alien franchise after Alien Resurrection is, like, Sigourney Weaver's character is not in it, and we don't have anybody that's just be like, this person is the smartest motherfucker in this film, and they deserve to have survived this long. In Prometheus and Alien Covenant, nobody has that quality. None whatsoever. Like, all of them make the wrong choices. Period.
Okay. So I just dropped it in the Discord.
Okay.
But I went ahead and I made a tier list for all the aliens.
Oh, I've seen this.
Yeah. So now we can just kind of, like, go through here and drop them in. Now, I'm going to change one thing because I made them landscape. I think square works better, but whatever. This is not relevant. I'm also going to change the tier list from S to F. S, A, B, C, and F.
Okay.
Because once you get to D, like if you got to D, you're an F. You failed. You
Basically.
You totally fucked up. So, why won't it let me edit this? No. Add a row below. Edit. F.
Jesus.
I'm going to put that hard red.
Hard
S is going to be
red.
green. Okay, now we're good.
Okay.
So, this is what we're going to do.
Okay.
We're going to do reset. Alien. S tier. Absolutely S tier.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Aliens. A tier.
Really?
For sure.
Okay,
Definitely.
that's fine. I don't even know why I'm just like it's not even that bad. I'm just
And
being
frankly,
an
the
asshole.
only reason that I don't have Aliens as an S tier movie is because I prefer Alien over Aliens.
But they could still both be S tier though.
They can. It's just for me, the vibe of Alien, the Alien franchise was set by Alien, and that's what I want the franchise to be. So like that's the gold standard. Aliens doesn't quite hit that mark, even though it's still exceptional given what it is.
Okay, that's acceptable. I understand that logic.
Alien 3. You know what? We're going to give them a D tier back. And the reason we're going to give them a D tier back...
For real?
Alien 3 is a C tier. It's not a D tier movie. We'll get to why I brought the D tier back. Alien 3 is C tier.
It's C tier for you? Okay.
C tier.
Yeah.
Then we got Prometheus. Or no, Alien Resurrection. Alien Resurrection. F tier movie. Absolute F tier. If I give this bitch an F minus, that shit is an F tier movie.
For script alone. Like, honestly, if you gave it a better script, but with the same action and the same focal events, I feel like it would at least be a B to A tier movie.
Maybe.
Okay.
Okay. Prometheus. This is why we brought back the D tier. So, my thing with Prometheus, it's not bad.
Uh-huh.
But it's so fucking whack and convoluted that I can't give it anything better than D tier.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not dropping it so bad that it's an F. But it's not an average C either. That bitch is a D.
It's really not. And like it tries to push the envelope, really. And it does to certain aspects, but then it literally doesn't give you any payoff for doing that. And that's the problem.
Which brings us to Alien Covenant. Now, here's the thing about Covenant.
Dude, the thing about Covenant is like has the worst crew to date, and that is saying something for the Alien franchise.
Sure. Covenant's a D tier movie too. Both of those movies, but unlike Prometheus, which is like not a bad movie at all, it's just not a good Alien movie. This is just not a particularly good movie. Covenant is just kind of a bad movie, but it's not Resurrection bad.
Dude, give it a fucking F. Like, if you give fucking Resurrection an F...
No. Resurrection's a fucking... Resurrection is such a fucking disgrace. It deserves to be down there all by itself.
You can go fuck yourself, dude. Like,
which brings us to Predator.
Out of all of the Alien franchise movies, Resurrection has the best Alien action scenes and crew scenes by
You're
far.
An actual lunatic.
No.
Anyway.
Not even close.
There's no way anybody agrees with you on this.
I don't give a shit. Nobody needs to because I'm right. And I'm glad in that fact.
Which brings us to Predator.
Okay.
Predator's an S tier movie. Predator's an S tier movie.
About to say.
If there was an S plus, that's what Predator would be.
Yes. Thank you.
In fact,
something we can agree on.
I'm gonna move it to the left in front of Alien because fuck that movie. It's better than that.
It really
Arnold's
is.
biceps are better than Alien.
Dude, the fact that they has Arnold, Carl Weathers, and Jesse the Body Ventura in that
Damn
bitch,
right.
so good.
I respect that you said it right.
No problem.
Predator 2.
Mm.
This is a D list movie.
D?
Predator's a D. Predator 2's
I wouldn't give it a D.
Yeah, fuck that movie.
I liked watching it a lot better than I did Prometheus. Like, at least bump that bitch up to a C, bro. That's a disgrace. You know you had more enjoyment watching that fucking movie than Prometheus and Alien Covenant.
Okay, but I also had more enjoyment watching Alien 3 than Predator 2. So this is what we're going to do. Alien 3 just got promoted to B. Predator 2 is a C.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
I'll allow this. If only for the fact that Predator 2 gives us some really dope lore for the Predator.
Oh, yeah. Dope lore, amazing weapons, and Gary Busey gets cut up in a butcher shop.
Yeah, it's just not a particularly great movie. Now,
It's fine.
Predators. Predators is actually on the same tier as Alien, so that's a B.
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, because Predators, it seems like they're trying to go back to their roots, and trying to not show off the Predator as much and make like the fact that it's so elusive and that it's always watching as the main star of the character of the Predator, and making us as the audience align with the people that are being hunted. Like, they just got dropped on this planet and we have to figure out what the fuck is going on.
Right. So that leaves us to 3 movies. The Predator, which we'll watch next week, and AVP 1 and 2. Now, I will tell you, I've already seen these movies, and from what I remember, The Predator is going to be a C tier movie. And both AVP movies are an F. So that would mean that my current ranking as of today would be Predator, then Alien, then Aliens, Alien 3, Predators, Predator 2, The Predator, Prometheus, Alien Covenant, Alien Resurrection, AVP, AVP 2.
Jesus Christ.
And really, I should create an F- tier for Alien Resurrection.
Good. Fuck you.
You know what? Add a row below.
Jesus Christ.
F-.
Wow.
Just for Alien Resurrection.
Wow.
That's the tier list, ladies and gentlemen. Even AVP and AVP2 are better than that piece of shit, Alien
Good
Resurrection.
Lord.
Because here's the thing. And I'm going to defend my position for a second.
Okay. All right.
Alien Resurrection, regardless of the entertainment value that you might find in that movie, which I don't understand, but I'll allow because everybody has their own preference, right?
Okay. All right.
The script is bad. The acting is bad. Basically, everything about the movie is bad. It's like The Room, where it's so bad that you just kind of laugh at it and enjoy it anyway, but I don't. And so for me, that movie is just dog shit.
Okay.
Now,
All right.
That's my personal opinion. And going along with that, at least the AVP movies give us aliens and predators fighting each other. So regardless of how bad they are, that automatically makes them a little bit better than Alien Resurrection. So it stands down there in the F-, tier all by itself.
Jesus Christ. How? Okay. All right.
In fact, we're just going to rename this extra F-.
That's
So we just
unnecessary.
super duper clear
Mm-hmm.
that that movie is complete garbage.
Okay, gotcha.
And just for posterity, in case I change my mind, I'm going to go ahead and post this list in the Discord so that everybody can see it. And yeah, here we go. So, John, with all that being said, what do you give Predators?
I give Predators a 7. Could you give me a gun? Could you give me a gun? Come on, man, give me a gun. You give me a fucking gun. Out of 10.
Okay, I respect that. I personally, I think there's a lot of redeeming value in this movie, and I think there's a lot of problems with it. Let's see. Okay, perfect. So there's 10 characters in this movie, and let's see here. Perfect. So I'm going to give this movie 7 useless characters out of 10.
Wow.
I can't wait till next week. Have you ever seen The Predator?
I
Please say
don't
no.
remember. I think this might be one of the
not.
only movies I have not seen in this franchise.
Oh, I really hope that's true. Because I only really remember vague parts about this movie, but man, it is going to be something to behold. And behold it we will. Until next week, as always, have fun out there.